Organics Private Limited. And also, I'm the co-founder at Ayurevolve Solution, the one-stop solution in Ayurveda. Thank you everyone for joining, and I hope this is a platform where we are discussing the the challenges in exporting natural and organic products. So when we see what is natural and what is organic, so there is always a doubt, in a common man. Uh, can natural products be organic, or can organic product be natural? So what is exactly the difference? Because these the terms natural and organic is always been used as a synonym by the common man. So how can it be differentiated when it comes to exports? So a product to claim as an organic product, um, we have to see two parts: how the food is grown and how the food is being processed. So when the food is grown, we have to make sure that there is no toxic and persistent pesticides are being used, and no synthetic growth hormones are being used. Sorry, no petroleum based fertilizers are used, and no cloning is being done for the in the farm. And when the food is processed, we have to make sure that there is no artificial colors or flavors being used, no artificial preservatives are used, and no irradiated products or ingredients are used in the manufacturing process, and no GMOs. So this is a brief understanding about the natural and organic products. So when it comes to the exporting the product, every farmer is wishing for a better margin, and they want themselves to earn more than what um, you know the market is being given to them. So I always find direct export by the farmer is an ideal platform. I hope that is what being done the agriculture.com community, because they have these industrial experts, they have the buyer and the farmer meet, etc. What is happening? Um, so when we are exporting a product, be it organic or be it natural, we might require a few documents. So what are the documents you might require? They are the invoice, the expo. You should have a basically, if you're a farmer and if you're planning to export, you should have a basic some certifications. This can be in the form of FSSAI, because if you are exporting the product in the form of supplement. So mainly the products are being exported into other countries in the name of Ayurveda, be it organic or be it natural, because Ayurveda is a term is being sold rather than the product nowadays, especially post COVID. So you should, if you're a farmer, you should have a import export code, and also you should have a manufacturing facility. If you do not have a manufacturing facility, and you are using someone else's facility, and then using their facility and making the products and then selling, exporting it across, then you should have a FSSA license as a trader or a relabeler, in which the manufacturer would be some other person, and you are the trader or the relabeler. So once you start exporting the product, you should have few documents in your hand. The export can be through the airway or through the seaway. So you should have the export invoice, the packing list, and airway or the bill of landing, and the phyto certification, and the certification of origin, MSDS and COA. So we need to understand what are the list of documents. Export invoice, you might be knowing, it's a invoice being generated from the company in which uh, they are exporting to another country, and it has to be invoiced to another company which is there in some other country. And packing list, how the product. Say for an example, if it is an organic ashwagandha, if it is a 100-gram package, and if the dimension of the carton has to be defined, and in each carton, how many packets of ashwagandha is being put into it has also been mentioned. So there should be a detailed packing list and an airway bill, and comes the phyto certification. So what is a phyto certification? This is a certification um, done by the government of India under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, by the Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, and the Directorate of Plant Protection, Quarantine and Storage. So this is a phytosanitary certification. So this phytosanitary certification has at least 21 characters in it, and it is signed by the director of either the director of the agriculture department, or the assistant director of the agriculture. So what are the characters? It should have a it should the first character is it is from the Plant Protection Organization of India, and it is to the Plant Protection Organization of the other country. For example, if you are exporting it to USA, it has to address to the Plant Protection Organization of USA. So there should be a description of consignment. There should be a name and address of the exporter, and the declared name of and the address of the consignee, and how you are supposed to convince. If, because for an example, if you are sending it across through the air, by you have to mention that it by air, the certificate should mention that it is by air, or if it is by sea, it has to mention that by sea. And the place of origin, it has to mention that if it is of if it is of India, we have to mention that it is from India, and declared point of entry. For an example, if in USA we are selling it through New Jersey, we have to mention that the declared point of entry should be New Jersey, comma USA, and there should be some distinguishing marks for the product. So the invoice number has to be mentioned. Then the invoice date has to be mentioned, and invoice date of which company, that also has to be mentioned. The date and which date in which the invoice is generated, that also be mentioned. And then comes the number and description of the packages. So how many packages, if it is 72 packages or 75 packages or 100 packages are there, then we have to mention how many packages are being exported to the country. Then name of producer, botanical name of the plant. For an example, if it is ashwagandha, 72 packages of ashwagandha is being exported, we have to mention that ashwagandha Vitania somnifera. Then if there are different plants, ashwagandha, bala, or haldi, or different spices, it's a group of herbs. If you are mentioning, then we can mention that it is assorted products or plant products as per invoice. So there is an invoice attached. So as per that invoice number, so and so invoice number, assorted products or plant products is being exported. Then we have to mention the quantity. Quantity has to be double checked from your end, from the manufacturer, and also by the exporter. Then there should be a declaration. In the declaration, we have to mention that this is to certify that the plant or the plant product described above has been inspected according to appropriate procedures and are considered to be free from quarantine pests and practically free from the injurious pests, and that they are considered to conform to the current phytosanitary regulations at the importing country. So this is very much mandatory, because under this declaration is being undersigned by the assistant director of the agriculture, or the director of the agriculture. Then another things like a date. If it is an organic product, we have to mention the date. If there is any chemical treatment, then it has to be mentioned. Then any other treatment other than this, that has also be mentioned. Duration and temperature, that has also mentioned. If nothing is there, then you can mention nil. Then any additional information or additional declaration if it is needed, that also be added. I'm very sorry. And next comes the date of issuing of the certification, and next comes the place of issue and the code. There different state or different authority have different code, that code should also be there, and there should be a seal by the office of the director of agriculture, and of which state, and also if it is from the capital state of that country, that state, then that also be mentioned. For an example, if I'm from Gujarat, so it has the seal should mention office of the director of agriculture, Gujarat state, Gandhinagar. So that comes the phyto sanitary certification. Then comes the certificate of origin. So certificate of origin again has different characters. First thing is that goods consignment from. So in which country these goods consignment are being being sent to. For an example, if we are selling from Gujarat to USA, so the goods consignment column from column should have the exporter's business name and address and country, and goods consigned to, and second one is goods consigned to the consignee's name, address and country, and there should always be a reference number for the certificate of origin, and it has to be non-preferential. And this certificate of origin is a combined declaration and certificate issued by the in India, and it is by the Export Import Development Association, and it is recognized by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry of Government of India. And third comes the means of transport. As mentioned, if it is by air, we have to mention that by air, or if it is by sea, we have to mention that by sea. And there should be a detailed explanation. For an example, from factory, we are selling it through by air to USA. We have to mention that from factory to Ahmedabad Airport, India, by road, and from Ahmedabad Airport to Ahmedabad Airport, India, to USA by air. So we should also, if we are using a third party agency, for an example, DHL, we should also we should also mention the airway bill number in that part. Then we should also have the item number, marks and number of packages, number and kind of packages, and description of goods. As mentioned, we were discussing, for an example, if it is ashwagandha or bala or haldi or jeera or anything, we have to mention that how many packages for each and every product has also be mentioned. There should also be for an origin criteria. We can mention that origin, the country origin as India, and gross weight and other any other quantity, if it is there, that also should be mentioned. Then we should also mention the number and date of invoice and the certification. In the certification, uh, it will be written that it is hereby certified on the basis of control carried out that the declaration by the exporter is correct, and it is signed by the secretary of the Export Import Development Association. And we should also the manufacturer should also sign a declaration by saying that the undersigned hereby declares that the above details, where the marks, packages, etc., and statements are correct, that all goods are produced in India and they comply with the origin requirement and exports to the country to which it is export. For example, if it is USA, we have to mention that USA, and the date, place, date, signature, and staff authorized signatory has to be there. And along with that, there should we should also attach an export invoice or tax invoice. For the reference, for an example, if it has the henna powder, if it has the amla powder, if it has brahmi powder, if it has organic henna powder, if it has haritaki powder, we should also have all these details, and these invoice should also have invoice number, invoice date, if there is any reverse charge, and state whether it is being used for the domestic purpose or the export purpose. Officially, obviously here it should be export purpose, and any payment term, if it is there, for an example, we can mention if it is against delivery, we can mention it against delivery. And if there is any insurance policy for the packages, so that you can use the which insurance company is being used, and transport mode, shipping bill number, airbay bill number, or the bill, landing bill number, then place of supply, a term of delivery, so marine policy, all these should be there in the certificate of origin. Apart from that, as we were mentioning, there should be a COA, certificate of analysis, and an MSDS. MSDS means material safety data sheet. So if I am sending a foxtail millet seeds to USA, I should have a material safety data sheet from the manufacturer. uh, so it should have again different characters. So these material safety data sheet should have a product name and company identification. So it should have a product name as foxtail millet seeds, products used as a superfood, company name, if my company is being exported as it's a Shivamastu Ayurveda or Ayurevolve solution, it should have a company address and date issued and emergency telephone number in case. And next character is the composition or ingredient information, because it is not a formula, it is just foxtail millet seeds, so we can mention it as foxtail millet seeds. Is there any hazardous components? We should also mention that if there is any hazardous components is been added, we can mention it as none. And the concentration of foxtail millet seeds also should be mentioned. And any hazardous identification, in case of the routes of entry, for example, if it comes to the contact of eye, we can mention it as no hazard, no hazard informed, or no hazard. And skin contact, there is no hazard. Ingestion, no available data. If you don't have a data available, you can mention it as no available data. And inhalation may cause irritation. For an example, if you inhale foxtail millet, there are different tiny particle. There are people who might be allergic to foxtail millet. So these allergy has to be mentioned. So may cause irritation. So is there any first aid measure for these hazardous identification? There are. So if it goes to eye, we can flush with plenty of water or eye wash solution for 50 minutes. Get medical attention if the irritation persists. And if there is any, if it causes an irritation to skin, so no adverse effects in terms of foxtail millet is been expected. So it could be because of some other cosmetics or anything like that. So inhalation, remove to fresh air. Remove yourself to the fresh air. If continued respiratory irritation occurs, or if breathing is becoming difficult, so you should seek a medical attention. Then there is, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir. What happened, sir?
Because my laptop got stuck, so that's what I'm asking.
Is it? You're audible, sir.
Audible? Am I visible?
Yes, yes. No issues, sir.
Okay, okay. So I was just trying to, log in from my
Mobile, is it?
mobile. Yeah.
There was no disruption.
No disturbance, right?
Okay. Yeah. Please proceed.
Just a moment. I'm visible and audible right now, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay.
Any
Okay.
issue, I will inform you.
Okay. Thank you. So if there is firefighting measure, if this is being exported, if there is firefighting measure has to be mentioned. For example, extinguishing media can be water spray, foam, or powder, or carbon dioxide. And special firefighting procedures, if any required, you can write as a small description. Otherwise, if it is not required, then you can write it as not available or NA. And unusual fire and explosion hazards, nothing as such mentioned. So the accidental release measures. So steps for spills. They should have precaution, avoid inhalation or contact with ice, wear suitable protective gear. Or methods for cleaning up, you can sweep up or flush with water and dispose of according to local regulations. So different localities have different regulations in different countries. So according to that, we can go for cleaning it up. So how it can be handled and storage. So there should be a brief description for safe handling and avoid dust formation, for avoid proper ventilation, and if in the event where there is a insufficient ventilation, where we are suitable breathing equipment. So if there is a storage requirement, you have to should also mention that for keep container closed and protect from humidity. Exposure control or personal protection. As mentioned, eye, skin, respiratory, and other work or hygiene practice. Maintain a good manufacturing practice is mandatory if you are using food products, be it natural and organic. There are physical and chemical properties, physical state. For an example, if it is a seed, we have to mention it's a seed. If it is a root, it is a root. If it is a powder, we can mention it's a root powder. The color, odor, low zone drying, total ash value, acid insoluble ash, water soluble extractive, alcohol soluble extractive. All these few physical and chemical characteristics you can mention as per your in-house standards or as per the standards of if it is an a product mentioned Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India, you can mention it as a API or IP, Indian Pharmacopoeia. Then there is stability and reactivity, whether the product is stable, incompatibility, it has to be none, and hazardous decomposition of byproducts. If it is not available, we can write as not available. Conditions to avoid contamination of product. Then you have to mention that any toxicological information. If the product is toxic, you have to mention that it's toxic, otherwise it is non-toxic. Ecological information, persistence and degradability, whether it is easily degradable or not easily degradable, we have to mention that, or how by which time it can be degraded if you are disposing it. If there is disposable consideration, that waste disposal methods has also be mentioned, and it should always be with the local, state, and federal regulations. So when it comes to USA and all, there are different regulations, so that be adhered, and transport information that also be classified. Then regulatory information, if there is anything required, then that has to be mentioned. If any additional information about apart from all these above, then we can mention that. And we should also have a slight declaration saying that the complete range of conditions or methods of use are beyond our control. Therefore, we do not assume any responsibility or expressly disclaim any liability for any use of this product. Information contained herein is believed to be true and accurate. However, all statements or suggestions are made without warranty, express or implied, regarding accuracy of the information, the hazards connected with the use of material, or the results to be obtained from the use thereof. Compliance with all applicable federal, state, and local laws and local regulations remains the responsibility of the user. This safety sheet cannot cover all possible situations which the user may experience during processing. For example, we are keeping a loophole saying we are not claiming everything. We should always foresee unforeseen circumstances. Each aspect of your operation should be examined to determine if or where additional precautions may be necessary. All health and safety information contained in this bulletin should be provided to your employees or customers. So when it comes to the concluding note, I would like to add that many natural and organic products are being exported as Ayurveda or Ayurveda supplement or food supplement, or claiming it as an Ayurveda. So we should understand, as per the Indian law, what is a drug or what is as a supplement. So a drug is a medicine or the substance which has a physiological effect when ingested or otherwise introduced to the body. So what could be as a supplement? A thing added to something else in order to complete or enhance it. So something added as an extra. So for an example, ashwagandha is also exported as a medicine and also exported as a food supplement. So it should be it at times it would be confusing for the food and drug authority of the respective country, then whether it is a medicine or the or the or as a supplement. Mm, I would definitely suggest if your product is, if you're claiming it Ayurveda, you should have a certification from your local FDCA, Food and Drug Controlling Authority of your state, and accordingly we can sell this product, or we can export this product to the any respective countries. And there are different criteria because Ayurveda as such is not a regulated system of medicine in many countries other than India. So we have to make sure that it's a tedious task to register the product in each and every country. So the easiest task is being done by many manufacturers or many farmers to export this product as a supplement. So that is all from my part. And if the forum is open for questions, I am ready to take it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for a wonderful talk. I will take up the questions from the participants now. Um, the first question is, what are the key challenges faced by exporters of natural and organic products, particularly in terms of logistics and supply chain management?
It's very difficult to understand, but can you please text it so that I can see it and reply to it?
Yes, sir.
The chat box, yeah.
You're not able to hear my voice, sir?
It's a little fuzzy, but it's fine. But if it is okay, if you can just,
I will just paste it, sir.
yeah. What are the key challenges faced by exporters and all? See, this is what we are facing. The key challenges many a times because Ayurveda as such, that's what I was saying. Natural and when it comes to natural and organic products, we are selling it in the name of Ayurveda. Many a time, at least 90 to 95 percentage, we are selling it in the name of Ayurveda, and Ayurveda is not a registered system of practice in many of the countries. So this is a key challenge, and to make them understand, for example, we have if to register a product, a classical Ayurveda product in India, it's very easy. You should have a product which is mentioned under the schedule 1 under the 54 textbooks of classical Ayurveda textbook as mentioned by the Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940. And if you have the reference in a particular name, you can get the registration. But these textbooks are written in a language called Sanskrit, which is alien to other countries. So to make them understand, these are so and so product and so references are available, and it's been used for so and so diseases. And we cannot also directly claim that ashwagandha is a cure for so many diseases. Ashwagandha, rather we can say it supports or it aids, and apart from that, when you go to export a product, at times the exporting authority in India might asking you for a drug registration, whether the product is being registered as a drug in the drug authority. In the supply chain management, it is a normal transportation issues that is only being the challenges. And the main challenge, you should be 100% sure, before sending it across to the respective country, because the amount of money you should be spending to recall the complete consignment might be double the cost of, sending it to the respective country, or getting it back, double the cost to the export. So we have to be sure about it.
Okay, I'll take up the next question, sir. How can exporters navigate cultural differences and consumer preferences in different target markets for natural and organic products?
Can you please repeat the
Yeah,
question?
yeah, yeah.
How can
How can
we
exporters
navigate?
navigate cultural differences and consumer preferences in different target markets for natural and organic products?
See, what at present what is happening in India? There should be a third party customer in a respective country. For an example, let us take it as an USA. So there is a customer in USA, and he knows the target market, whether ashwagandha is being sold in that market, whether haldi is being used as a high efficient product in that country. For example, haldi and curcumin. In India, we are using haldi alone, but when it goes to the different countries, we know that haldi along with the piperin or the black pepper is being most used. So, the target market has to be updated or researched by the customer and come back to you.
Okay, I'll move on to the next question, sir. What are the opportunities and potential barriers for small scale producers looking to export natural and organic products?
See, small scale producers, I would definitely suggest, getting the certification is the first task. Um, in POP or the NOP certification from the government bodies is the first task for the small scale producers. But what I would definitely suggest, you should find out um, uh, the third party manufacturers like HNC Organics Private Limited, who are in the market, who is in the market for 10, 15 years and being vigorously doing this exporting activity. And if your product has a good quality, then definitely we can take up the product and help the farmers to export it. So the potential barrier would be the quantity. Quantity is always the quantity for the farmer, because the farming is depend on different characteristics, so we can it is not in our control.
Okay, I'll move on to the next question. How do emerging technologies such as blockchain and IoT impact the exploitation of natural and organic products in terms of traceability and transparency?
Hmm, traceability, see, the more technology is being used, I would definitely suggest that the traceability and the transparency has to be improved. When there is a middleman, and the middleman, and if these technologies is being used by the farmer, I believe that the traceability and transparency will be more higher than it is being used by a third middleman.
Okay. What financial considerations should exporters of natural and organic products be aware of, such as currency fluctuations and payment terms?
The economical, the economical viability of particular countries has to be taken care of in the beginning. So they should also be aware of the um, as mentioned, the currency fluctuations. For example, if US dollar today is 82, tomorrow is if it is 85, or the day after tomorrow is 89. So we have to understand the currency fluctuation as per the countries, and accordingly we have to do the export. And I would always suggest, unless or until you get to have a complete confidence on your customer who is sitting in some other part of the world, I would always suggest to have a payment prior to the export.
Okay, I'll take up.
And so gradually, if your confidence is gained, you can also have a payment against delivery, so and so.
Okay. How can exporters build sustainable partnership and network with distributors and retailers in foreign markets for natural and organic products?
Quality. Quality is what you need. And this quality has to be maintained. And this quality has to be maintained by the manufacturer, by the farmer. And if you can maintain the quality of the product, you you can get customers from different parts of the world. And quality is the only thing you should have, you should maintain.
Okay.
And you can do the rigorous offline and online marketing. So that is a different, because we cannot ask the farmers to do different kind of marketing. This marketing can be done by the manufacturers if they are interested, or different entrepreneurs if they are interested in exporting the product.
Okay. What are the environmental and social implications of exporting natural and organic products, and how can exporters address these responsibility?
Mhm. See, we should not overuse our nature. That is something what I have learned all over these years. For example, we always when you go to different part of our country, we have seen that there are at least 2 to 3 crops is being done by the farmers. It is just to um, maintain the quality of the product, and also quality of the soil and quality of the nature. So these also been done according to the kala or the time. So you might have seen, if it is a rainy season, some particular kind of product is being produced, and if it is summer, some other kind of product is being produced. If it is spring, some other kind of product is being produced. So according to the season, we have to produce our products. And this has to be, for an example, we should not overuse our paddy fields, we should not overuse our products, so that there is always a balance between the produce and the nature.
Okay. We have now completed the round of questions. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we like to thank Mr. Vaidya Akhilesh Varrier for the talk and for answering the questions. I like to also thank all the participants in the meeting. This meeting will now be closed.
Thank you.
You're most welcome, sir.